Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So after our most recent victory, we are now racking up the wins in this season. And if we take a look at the Drivers' Championship, you can see we are crushing our opponents in that category. However, we are behind in the Team Championship, and that is simply because of car number 2. Now, that doesn't really bother me. I know exactly why it's happening. We all know why it's happening. But I'm at a point where I'm going to start to make some incremental changes to car number 2 to improve it. And we're going to start off by looking at staff members. Okay, so we already know that on car number 2, we have nothing as far as staff. Okay, our race mechanic here is just no good. We already know that. So let's go ahead and see if we can do something to improve that, because obviously one of the things that we can do if we want to get car number 2 faster, we can obviously get better drivers. But another thing we can do is have better pit stops. So if we look at obviously the difference here in pit stops between 15 on concentration and 18 on pit stops versus 4 and 3, here that is going to be a huge difference. So let's look and see what we can do to really help that out some. And we'll go over to scouting and race mechanics. And I've already been in here looking around. I do this every so often just to sort of see who's out there, and then I put the favorite mark out next to those that really catch my eye that I might like to get. There are a few of these that really catch my eye because I've used them before, such as Alex Barbosa. I know he's a really good one. Gabriela Rojas, I've used her as well. So in general, I'm trying to stay away from those that I've used before a lot. But I come up with one in particular here, Nicole Dubois. So Dubois has 20 on pit stops, 15 on concentration. Unfortunately, her bonuses aren't really that good. Super soft tires wear more slowly, but if we can get her up to the level 2, then fast pit stops are now minus 15 mistake chance. That could be huge. So that would make up for sort of that 50% less refueling time, that kind of a thing. It's along those same lines. But most importantly, she's going to be much better on pit stops. So let's go ahead and approach the mechanic. Of course, this is going to mean spending some money. Wages are important to me, so we need to come strong with this. All right, so 79,000 would be max. All right, let's try to go. I tell you what, let's don't play around with this. Let's go ahead. 67 is pretty close. It's only a couple of clicks off. I'm going to offer a long contract, even though she would prefer a medium. I'd prefer you to pay it all. That's not really that big a deal. So I'm going to go ahead and say team pays it all. She'd like a nice sign-on bonus. Let's see what nice means. Okay, we'll do 600. Bonus size is important, so I'll give her the same thing I generally give. Let's see what the max is. 60,000. Let's go 42. All right, let's see if that'll do it. Now, she doesn't have very much patience, so I'm hoping that we've come with good enough numbers that we can get there. Now, we got 24 days before our next race. I'm hoping that we can work this out during that time. But again, we'll see. I've also been looking at drivers, but unfortunately, about 90% of the drivers that we would actually want to sign don't want to sign with us because we are considered the bottom tier in our particular league, which is true, even though there's only 2 tiers. So we're going to have a hard time finding somebody that we would really want to sign. But I keep looking, and there are a few of them out there that I wouldn't mind having. But, we'll deal with that a little bit later in the season if we need to. I'd love to finish off this season with just a new crew chief here and not have to get any new drivers, because I really like the amount of money we're able to save each race by really lowering our expenses. That's enabled us to do a ton of work on our HQ, and I would really like to continue doing that. All right, let's just go ahead. They're equally great. How about that? Everybody gets a boost, and some of them really need that boost. Okay, it's always interesting to see, oh, so-and-so wins the Phoenix GP, and I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't it say us? Oh, that's right. Even though the game considers us two separate divisions, they don't consider us getting victories. When we winning these races, it never says that we win the races. So, and I also noticed that the Twitter feed in the game that shows up during practice and qualifying and all that on a race weekend, also, because we're qualifying mid-pack, even if we qualify on the pole, that's 13th, which is mid-pack. So it always says that we're doing terrible and why can't we do better, even though we're on the pole. So it's that part of the game could really use some tweaking. It's almost like they forgot about that. Oh, yeah, it shows that we finished 13th, but they don't realize it's a multi-class event. All right, let's take a look at our pit crew. Now, we do have, 2 empty slots available in case we find some guys that we want. Let's go ahead and reject. Okay, just that one. Let's see what we've got beyond that. Well, actually not much. Okay, definitely going to reject this last one. And I love the refueling numbers and, of course, tire numbers. I don't worry too much about the front or rear jack. All right, nobody in here that I'm really interested in for the most part. This wouldn't be a bad backup for the jacks. But right now, let's see. Do we have anybody that we're going to be looking to get rid of at some point? Not very good here. And other than that, okay, not very good here, but they're really good on the jacks, front or rear. All right, so we're good there. All right, let's go ahead and swap out and get our fuel back. Okay, tires. For some reason, this guy is not on tires. Yeah, I really wish this auto manage option was good, because I would prefer to turn that back on. Unfortunately, that is not going to be something I can do. All right, let's see. Do we have anybody at full? There's one. And he's better, but I kind of need to save for the tires, I believe. Maybe. Let's see. 13, 12. All right, never mind. Never mind. Let's go ahead and swap out there. That'll help out some on the rear jack. Okay, I'm okay-ish with this. And over time, as we get some better staff and everything, we should attract better pit crew members. So we'll keep that in mind. All right, let's get back over to the car repair being done. And all right, so you can see this is going to be done 20 days before the race. In other words, just a few days from now. Okay. So that works out perfectly fine for me. Let's go ahead and move forward. That also happens to be the same time that we're going to hear back on our contract proposal. And oh, renegotiation. Okay, so she didn't like it. Not enough to sign it anyway. All right, so this is our last chance. Her wages, yeah, might as well just max that out. She's not crazy about the contract, but I really do like that. And all right, what is the maximum? All right, let's just go up a little bit there, because these amounts are not huge. Drivers take up the overwhelming amount of money each time. Even if you pay out full bonuses here, you can see that would still be under 200 grand for the race weekend. All right, we'll send this one over, and hopefully we can get her, and then we don't have to worry about any more staff issues for a little while. Okay, click on the staff just to get that out of the way. Let's look at our sponsorship. We have one offer, or one slot that needs to be filled, and we have 3 offers. Okay, second or above, third or above. And if I look at these numbers, wow, this 4-star offer it dwarfs the other ones here. And they're second or above. We should be able to do that at this point. All right, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take the 4-star offer. Nice amount of money up front, plus the 1.3 million is pretty nice. Okay, we'll move forward and we'll hear back from, wait a minute, oops. We have got to, yeah, we have no parts out here. I got so excited about the contract proposal that I forgot. So let's go ahead and let's see, car 2. We need to do what? Tell you what, I'll need to work on a little bit of this, because if we get this new staff member, then we're going to need some help in that area, because we're no longer going to have that bonus to get us where we want to be. Okay, there we go. Do we need to really 15 days? Just one day, huh? Okay, there we go. So contract offer accepted. Yes, that is what I want to hear. All right, so Danielle, continue. We're going to pay out some money. And so you can see we're not going to have any bonuses for a long time for her. And the only one we're really going to care about probably most of the time is going to be this risk taker bonus, and it'll be forever before we can get there. Okay, I like it. So let's see. Reliability 15, performance 14. And all right, so realistically, we need to leave. It's not going to matter. Either one of these is going to be just fine. So if we come back over to the car, then let's see, performance. Yeah, it's so close that it's not really going to matter. All right, let's get rid of that. And performance is 14. Performance is 16. Let's see what it even shows. Yeah, it doesn't even show enough to make a difference in the number of days. So now we are at a point where we are trying to maximize everything we can for car number 2 on performance. So we're done with car number 1 unless we try to sneak in another part or two for the remainder of the season, which I really don't want to do at this point. Whether or not we win the championship, I don't want to do it, if at all possible. Okay, I like where we're at. Let's continue our way forward. And we got a couple of emails. Let's see what we got here. All right, so contract signed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, bigger picture. Let's see what we got. We rarely speak one-on-one, but a little time we've got together, I can already tell that you're a decent, well-intentioned managers. All right, let's see what we've... Let's see. Obviously, it's pure nonsense, but I would greatly appreciate some public support against these claims of his offshore slush fund. All right, let's do the chairman happiness plus 10. We don't really need that, but I don't want to lose team marketability. And the voting power, I don't really care all that much about. So we're not gonna go there. All right, so we've made some improvements here. I saw an email about, oh, Petra is sim racing champion. That's better marketability and overtaking for her. I like that. Okay. All right, we're good there. So we've made improvements to our staff, and we'll have to see. Hopefully, this will help us out with the speed of the car over the course of a full race. And hopefully we can get more than fighting for that 1 point at the very bottom of the grid. We'll see. We're getting better performance, better staff. So my hope is that that's exactly what happens. Okay, so it looks like it is basically... All right, so let's see. What does she want? Sophia wants us to think about fuel efficiency. Okay, got it. And let's see where we got on our car performance. So we're getting there. You can see it 19 days after the race is when it'll be completed. So that'll be another awesome improvement, because I look at these almost like getting brand new parts developed. You know, we've got another over 25 points there, another 14 there. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of performance to be gained in this. Of course, it doesn't help that I forgot and let these guys go idle for a few days. All right, let's go ahead and prepare for our next race. Let's see, second or above, and this could be huge. This could be huge if we're able to do this. But remember, that's qualifying and the race. All right, tire selection. We are going to go 4, 6, and 5. Wow, hard tires, 9 of them. That is a lot. 4, 6, and 5. And the parts, let's take a glance at them just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure we've got everything where we want it. All right, there we go. And let's take a quick look at the parts that are going to be important. The crucial parts this time are top speed, which is a spec part, then acceleration and deceleration. So we should be in great shape with both of those. And I really like that. So let's head to the track. All right, practice and qualifying are done. And let me just tell you, qualifying was a complete disaster. We are nowhere near the top 2, top 3, or top 4. It was horrible. So we're going to move on from that and hope we got more speed during the race. Traditionally, we've been pretty good here. So we're going to hope for some of that good fortune during the race. We've got some level 2 bonuses on tires and race trim on car 2, and then car 1 race trim bonus, and then our refueling bonus. The setups came out great. We're going to be using the hard tire because it matches up the best with the amount of fuel. We should actually have a little bit of tire left and run out of fuel before the tire. So again, we'll look to do a 2-stop strategy on car 1 and probably a 3-stop strategy on car 2, but we'll see how it goes. I am going to see how this first stint plays out, and then we'll make a decision then. Hopefully we don't have any weather to worry about. That crushed us during the qualifying. I tried to get out on the soft tires and just missed it, and that ended up messing everything up for us. So we didn't have the speed, and I was trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat and make a miracle happen, essentially. But here we go. It is race time. You can see we're starting, basically at the back. I'm going to try to remember to keep an eye out on the weather. We're going to keep an eye out for the tire temps as well, because we want to push as much as we can, because we need to make up spots. But we also can't abuse these tires. Oh, goodness. Let's don't start with the driver mistakes. Let's don't do that, because that will not help us any at all. In fact, as soon as we get the tire temps up to a roughly acceptable level, I will be backing off on those. We've made up a few spots with car 1, but not car 2. Car 2 is not really going much of anywhere. All right, so car 2, I'm going to back off. Okay, we're getting there on car 1. Car 1 I'm not as worried about, because I know we've got tons of stamina, and that should not be an issue. Oh, we got a drive-through penalty, and thankfully it is not against us. Okay, let's back off for a little bit. Okay, take a look at the weather. Still none in the foreseeable future. At least in our foreseeable future. Okay, we've now worked our way up to 4th on the grid. Let's go ahead and continue to push. And Mike Ham is having a hard time driving today. He just continues to wreck these tires with his driver mistakes. All right, so we're getting there. I mean, we're getting there. So I'm just going to have to let car 2, the tire temps are just going to have to go down a lot more, because he continues to destroy the tires with his mistakes. Now we got another driver mistake. All right, guys. What's the #1 rule of racing? Don't beat yourself. And we are doing exactly that. All right, so we are 25 minutes into the stint. And so it's not the most horrible start if we look at where we're running right now. If you ignore the driver mistakes we've seen so far that are killing our tires. Okay, let's go back to, we need to push some. All right, we need to get up into 15th here so we can move on. We've been following this car for way too long. All right, as I say that, they pull away a little bit from us. So yeah, we're just going to have to risk these driver mistakes at this point, because we need speed, which we are showing precious little of right now. Now the good thing for us is that the leader is on medium tires. So they are showing us their hand. All right, and right now I can see that car 2 is not looking good for even a three-stop strategy, because we're only 38 minutes in and he is running low on stamina. So any pushing at all is crushing his stamina. This is looking like it's going to be a three-stop race for us and a killer in the championship race. Because yeah, our driver mistakes have killed these tires, and of course having to push has really hurt our driver's stamina. But we got to try to get some sort of... All right, let's go ahead and pit. We've pushed as long as we can push. All right, so we had 20 laps left. There we go. We'll drop some fuel out. There we go. So we're now up to third with car 1, and it would be nice if we could stay on car 1. Thank you. All right, so a good pit stop there. And we're going to try to make this last a little bit longer. This time we should be good on fuel. And so yes, we know that Sophia is getting low on stamina. I am trying to make this last as best I can. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'm trying to get everything out of her I can and get as close to that 1 hour mark as possible. Because again, if we can do this on 2 stops, that would be huge. And in the meantime, I am not pressing... I'm not going to press a whole lot with car 2, just a little bit. Basically as little as I can get by with. Okay, we're at 53 minutes. She is out of stamina, and I don't want to really press my luck on that too much. All right, so 13. Let's do... let's just take 5 out, because I'm hoping that we can go a lot farther this time. Okay, parts look good, or as good as they, I think, can look right now. Engine wasn't looking too hot. All right, so our first pit stop for car 1. Complete. Okay, everything looking good. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and back off. All right, still no weather. I got to remember to continue checking that, because like I said, we definitely had some rain during practice and qualifying. All right, so my takeaways so far into this race is that we don't have the pace we ultimately need. However, both of our cars are still running pretty good. And remember, our team points for the race are cumulative between both cars. So if we get 10 points for a victory and no points from car 2, that's still just 10 points. So that's what I'm trying to keep in mind and tell myself as we are not looking wonderful to this point. So what would be great is if we could get through here without these driver mistakes, because those take a lot of durability out of the tire. Okay, so pit stops are happening for those who are on a two-stop strategy at the front of the field. So we're going to keep that in mind. We were still not bad on stamina. We pushed her right to the end, and that was about, what, about 53, 54 minutes, somewhere in that range. So it still wasn't bad. Okay, now you can see we're up to second and third after everybody has made one stop. Now I really enjoy seeing these medium and soft tires, because that tells me that they're definitely not trying to make it on 2 and maybe even 3 stops in some cases, particularly with these soft tires. So we'll see how it goes. There's a ton of different combinations that you can use to try to get to where you want to go, but we'll see. So far, I'm at least a little bit happier now. I see we're only 8 seconds off of the next car in line that has the hard tire on, the same tire as what we're running. So not bad. Plus, I noticed that we must have had a much better pit stop on car 2. Oh, we've got a crash. Okay, let's go ahead and back off some now on the tire. It is very hard to keep heat in these tires. I'm trying to push as much as I can, but I cannot push very much, simply because I need as much time as possible out of this stint on really both cars. But car 2, we were below our 45-minute stint time by a couple of minutes. It didn't end up being as bad as I thought it was going to be. But this time you can see we're going to run low on stamina before we run out of tire. And then fuel is going to be pretty much in line with what we were thinking, because I did not fill it all the way up. Okay, so we're right down to the red now. Okay, I'm going to try to get another lap here, but I don't want to press this any farther than I have to. Now, this is going to be probably a shorter stint. We're going to have to do a 3-stop strategy, I think. Because if we run her into the red on stamina, then we're going to be crushed. So, I think what I want to do, let's see, an hour and 27 left. Really need to get her to get all of that she can here. Okay, let's go with medium. And what does it say for that? About 30, maybe 35 laps. Okay, let's go about 37. This will be pretty good on the fuel. And once again, we just need a good, solid stop. Nothing heroic, just a good, solid stop. Okay, so we got our medium tires on. All right, everything looks good, no mistakes, and we're off and running. All right, so hopefully the tire heat will do better on the medium tires. We'll see. You can see it already starting to drop a little bit. Meanwhile, over here on car 1, we're hanging in there. Not showing the full out speed that we need to for maximum points and victories, but overall, I mean, we're right at the 45-minute mark right now, and we've got plenty of fuel to get us where we need to be. The question will be, are we going to end up with enough tire? And stamina's looking good. Okay, let's press a little bit here on car 2. Try to get a little bit of speed, a little bit of heat in those tires. All right, we're now at the 49-minute mark, almost 50-minute mark for car 1. Stamina is dropping, but that's perfectly fine because we are trying to run this stint and get everything we can out of it. You notice that we've definitely pulled in a little bit closer to the lead. Okay, let's back off on car 2. All right, tires are wearing down. Fuel is leaving, but we have come right up to the back bumper of the leader. All right, so they're coming into the pits this time by. So let's go ahead and let's press as hard as we can for another. Let's see. Let's back off a little bit because I now notice that we need to make it a few more laps here. Good news is you can run these hard tires really, really hard. All right, final lap. Hopefully the tires will last. Okay, fuel options. We need it full, absolutely full. In fact, part condition looks okay. Engine's taking a beating, but that's to be expected. All right, there we go. So we're in for our pit stop. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. No mistakes. That's the main thing that I am concerned with. So we're going to try to help these tires out because we need to last quite a long time in this particular stint. All right, and in fact, I'm going to drop off a little bit on the fuel here momentarily because I want to make sure we don't run low on fuel. I'm not going to push very much so that we don't run low on tire, hopefully anyway. So there's a whole lot going on right here. You can see car 2 is running great, and I'm just hoping that we can get enough out of this stint so that whenever we make our next pit stop that we will be in shape for some points. All right, tires are definitely wearing down on car 2. Okay, let's go back to high mode and push a little bit with Petra, and we just need her not to make any mistakes. All right, we're actually getting a very good stint here out of car number 2. We're at 36 minutes, and I have pushed a lot with her, quite frankly. So we are doing quite well with her. We're going to have about a 45-minute stint. Let's go ahead and queue up her final pit stop. Tire choice is going to be, I don't trust the medium tire, so let's go there. And in fact, we'll go, let's see. That should be enough, but I tell you what, I don't want to chance that. Don't want to chance it. All right, here we go. Pit stop for car number 2. We need a good, clean stop. And everything looks good, out with no mistakes, and we're off. So we only need 45 minutes out of this car and this driver now, so we can afford to push a little bit more than we did before. We should have more than enough fuel. Okay, so I'm looking forward to the possibility of being able to push more. There we go. So we're at 39 minutes remaining. Tire wear is looking good. I think the fuel is going to be in good shape as well on car 1, but again, we could be close on that one. Okay, we see that first and third right now in the standings are both going to have to come in for another pit stop pretty soon, particularly the leader. Okay, same thing here right in front of car 2. So we are, I think, in very good shape. We are actually running much better than we qualify, which is a beautiful thing right now. Okay, again, I'm not worried about the medium tires. Now, these medium tires are a different story because they'll be able to make it to the end. But these soft tires are definitely not. Okay, let's go ahead and push. If for no other reason, then we really need to make sure that we stay ahead of these guys. I'm not sure they're going to make it to the end. I think they will. But you never know about the AI. They don't like to run their tires down as low as I do. All right, I am content not to push very hard with car 1. We have a nice lead. And I am content to just try to ride that out as much as possible. All right, we're going to have to stop pushing. We're going to run out of stamina here on car number 2 if we continue to push really hard. All right, let's see where we are. We got about a 6 or 7 second lead. All right, not bad. We're definitely not going to catch anybody in front of us. So I like where we are. This is awesome as far as the running order. That is very good. Okay, drive time will not be an issue for either, although we're pushing it a little bit closer with Mike Ham. Okay, still holding steady on car 2. 16 minutes left. Let's see, where are we? Still about 5 to 6 seconds over here. It keeps fluctuating. All right, I like where we are. This is good. All right, looks like they've backed off now behind us. Either that or there was a pit stop I missed. Okay, we're in good shape. Looks like everybody, except for 2 cars here, went for a 3-stop strategy or more. So that really helped us out. And it's good to note that here we are. Okay, now we're down to the red on stamina. All right, so now it's going to come down to it. Can we hold this lead for the last 8 minutes? Okay, let's swap over. All right, we're going to crank up the engine here and see if we can do this. All right, so they dropped back off about 10, 11 seconds now. So we're going to keep with this because we got plenty of fuel. We're going to try to make sure that we hold on to this spot. Okay, fastest lap, we're not worried about that. In some divisions, that actually pays points to have the fastest lap. All right, look at this. They are coming hard at us. And I can't really push, unfortunately, because of his stamina. Because if I push with his stamina, he's liable to wreck. All right, race ending. And did we take the checkered flag that time? We did not. All right, we should take it this time, though. Please. All right, we did. There we go. So how about that? A 1st and a 4th. That's what we need. And particularly if we can do that without me having to go and spend a whole bunch of money on drivers, then that would be awesome. Because there's some drivers out there to be had that are, in some cases, very good drivers, but it would take quite a huge sum of money to get them. All right, I like it. So we maximized points with car number 1, and I think pretty close to maximizing points with car 2 as well. We are crushing the competition in the driver standings, but there we go. Now we're talking. Team championship, we have made up that deficit and now taken the lead. So we just need to keep this going. Okay, after 8 of 10 rounds, we are now in the driver's seat. All right, I really am pleased with the results there. A 1st and a 4th is really good. It really goes to show how strong our car is because our drivers on car number 2 are not good. And the fact that we were able to bring home a 4th regardless, that is huge. All right, let's see. Lee, great driver form. The other 2, not so much. So we're losing a little bit of morale here with Petra. Okay. And let's see how morale is on car 2. These morales should be going up. I have no idea why they're not. I'm sure there's some little something about how the game works that I'm forgetting about that's causing these to stay down. But you finished fourth, and the team did great, so not real sure why you wouldn't be doing better. But what we really need is to get this relationship with the mechanic better. All right, so we lose $922,000. We got 2 races left to go, and we're doing great on money. So money is not an issue, and we've been able to do, 3 HQ buildings this year? So, and that's really what it's all about for me. That's what I'm having a blast doing, building up that HQ. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned next time where we'll be headed to Vancouver for event number 9 in Motorsport Manager.